Okay, so thank you. Thank you everybody for virtually joining us today at this Alexander Grass Scholar.
We're admitting people.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today at the Alexander Grass Scholars Program Info Session. My name is Sara Agnelli, and I am the Associate Director of the Center for the Humanities and the Public Sphere at the University of Florida. And I'm here with Alison Walsh, who's our Program Manager and Coordinator of this program. So today, we will give you a briefly general overview of this is a new undergraduate program, as well as we will provide you with details for the application, eligibility, and a timeline. But before we start, just a few words about the center. If you haven't heard about the center before and you would like to get involved in the future. So the center was founded almost like 20 years ago in 2005, was launched in 2009, and is directed now by Dr. Jamie Olberg, who's Associate Professor of Philosophy. The Center for the Humanities and the Public Sphere has three purposes: facilitate and promote research, programs of humanities scholars at UF, and not only faculty and graduate students, undergraduate, and also the community. Is an intellectual space and a physical location within the university and the College of Liberal Arts and Science for critical and collaborative discussion of the humanities that reach across and beyond individual discipline. And we are located, if you haven't been at the center yet, we are located in Walker Hall. So it's not too far away from Library West. We are on the same floor as the honors program, if you're familiar with them. Also, the center provides a place for outreach to the community and the community of Gainesville, where we live and teach. So we offer different programs. Let me see. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, and we just list like some of them, but programs, funding opportunities, and not just for faculty and graduate students, but there are opportunities for undergrad in our community as well. So we would like to invite you to explore our center website at humanities.ufl.edu and reach out to us if you have any questions or if you like to get involved. Okay? And now I'm going to use this floor to Alison that will provide you with all the information that you need to consider and apply Alexander Grass Scholars Program.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. And it's really lovely to see you all joining us this morning. And we'll also have time for questions. So hopefully you can stick around a little bit. This is a long session. So, but we wanted to give you some information about the program, starting with the person who has endowed the program. So who is Alexander Grass? Who was Alexander Grass? So this program is funded through an endowment by the Alexander Grass Foundation. Alex Grass was the most widely known as the person who founded the Rite Aid drugstore chain, which is a national, major retail drugstore chain. So he was a very successful businessman, but he was also a really important philanthropist. He unfortunately passed away in 2007, but even since then, his foundation has become a really important philanthropic entity, and they have a very strong relationship with the University of Florida. So this gift is launching the Alexander Grass Scholars Program is specifically geared towards developing opportunities for undergraduate students, hopefully you guys, to get engaged in humanities research. And we'll talk about what the structure of the program is. I will briefly mention that Mr. Grass, the Grass Foundation has also funded an endowed chair position, so a distinguished professorship in the Center for Jewish Studies at UF, and which eventually permitted that program to offer a graduate degree as well. So as I mentioned, they have a long, the foundation has a very fertile relationship with UF. Alex Grass got his law degree here a long time ago in 1949. So even though he kind of operated his business in Pennsylvania, University of Florida has continued to be really important to his legacy. He's dedicated to the humanities and keeping students engaged in the fields of research. And so that's kind of what has led to the launching of this brand new program. So we're all very excited to get this thing rolling. So it's great to see students interested as well. Okay, let's go to the next slide and we'll talk about program. So maybe most important things first. The award is for $2,000 for 20 students. So it's going to be a big cohort of students. It will span for 2024, the program will span summer and fall 2024. So the award of $2,000 is spread out for $1,500 in summer A and then $500 in fall 2024. So summer A will be a class, and it is a face-to-face class. There are no virtual enrollment options, so you'll need to be in Gainesville and committed to attending class in person for summer A 2024 term. The $1,500 comes in summer, and then in fall you'll be doing more independent research to kind of develop a project that you're planning in summer. We'll talk more details about that in just a minute. So the idea is that you'll work on a project-based humanities research experience. And it'll look a little bit differently for everyone in the program. You'll be in that one class in summer A. There will be some small groups split up. We'll talk about the structure. And then in the fall, you'll kind of continue your research on an independent or potentially in a small group, working with a community organization. And then eventually the goal is for you to have a finished product that you can present at a specific Grass Scholars Fall Research Symposium that we're planning towards the end of fall semester. So this is something that'll really start in summer A, but then go all the way through the end of fall, and that will end in a really nice, developed, complete project that you can present at a research symposium, and a major achievement that you can add on your resume line. Grass Scholars are also expected to sort of participate in the life of the Center for Humanities in the Public Sphere, which can look a lot of different ways. We have a lot of different events that we put on. We ask students to volunteer to help out at events, to volunteer promoting different programs like this Grass Scholars program, even just coming to fun things that we have to do. So that's just sort of one of the maybe benefits of getting involved, is that you can become really a part of the Center for Humanities at UF and see the different kinds of things that we're doing on campus as well. So that's the very general overview. Let's talk a little bit about the community connections that you'll be making through your enrollment in the program. I will say that we're still sort of in a development stage. This is the first year. This year's Grass Scholars will be the first cohort ever for this program. So as we're kind of making those developmental connections, things might be shifting a little bit. But so far, we're pretty sure we have commitments from at least these 4 organizations that you'll be working with. So the Harn Museum of Art, which is here on campus. If you haven't been there, this will be a great opportunity for you to see that beautiful space and some of the really cool exhibits that they have there. Smathers Libraries, not just Marston or Library West, but the whole, all of the libraries at UF. The A. Quinn Jones Museum, which is a museum in Gainesville.
Yeah, it's not actually too far away from campus. It's on 7th Avenue, like on 13th Street, so between 13th and 10th Street. So it's very close, like it's 10 minutes walking from Smather Library.
Yeah, very nice. And also the Matheson History Museum, another local.
Is, in downtown.
Downtown Gainesville, yeah. So those are at least 4. We might have, we're still working out on the final touches, but these are 4 organizations that have committed to be a part of the Grass Scholars program and work with our undergrads this summer 2024. So let's talk a little bit about what the requirements for the program and eligibility. So this is for undergraduate students, which means you have to still be an undergraduate through fall 2024.
Mhm.
So even if you're planning on graduating in fall, if fall 2024 is going to be your last semester here, you can still be a grad scholar in 2024. But if you're graduating after summer, then you won't be eligible because you'll no longer be an undergrad in fall. So that's hopefully that's not an issue for any of you. The GPA requirement is 3.0. Hopefully that's not an issue for you either. As I mentioned, you will be enrolling in an in-person summer A course. It's IDS 4911. It's a 3 credit hour class. That's a requirement for the program. So, but that also means that you'll be getting course credit for your work in the summer. The independent research in fall 2024 can look a little different in terms of your enrollment based on what you need. So if you need 3 research credits and you want to register for a 4930 research course in your major department, and count that potentially towards your major, we can arrange that with your major department so that that's something you can do. If you don't have any room in your schedule, if you're packed out with credits, it's not a requirement that you enroll for course credits in fall 2024. You can enroll in your major, you can enroll in an IDS 4930 class, or you don't have to be enrolled in a course connected to your work in fall semester. But that really depends on what you need as a student. So we'll be working with you one-on-one to make sure that your enrollment matches, your needs in terms of your participation in the program. The fall, in terms of your work in the fall, it will be more independent and infinitely flexible. As long as you're meeting the kind of benchmarks that you've outlined for your project, you can work as you need to around your other classes and your other obligations in fall semester. So we can tailor that to fit your needs in fall. No previous research experience is required. This is really important because part of the goals of this program are really to launch you into the world of humanities research, to develop a skill set, even if you are starting at 0, even if you're not totally sure what humanities research means, this program can still be for you. And that also means that if you have humanities research experience, if you're a junior or even a senior and you've done some of this work before, this would hopefully just add to your skill set, strengthen your skill set, and more importantly, make additional connections for you that can, strengthen the work maybe that you're already doing. So again, it's sort of flexible in terms of level, but we're not expecting you to have any previous research. The point of the summer A course is to really kind of start at the beginning and have a really productive conversation about what your options are in this kind of work, to make connections in the field, and then find something that you're interested in working on and develop that project into the fall. Of a similar vein, students of all majors may apply. So even if you're not, a primary major in a humanities discipline, maybe you're a STEM major, but you have a second major in, history, or a second major in,
language.
Language, African American studies. You don't have to be a primary major in the humanities to be a grad scholar. You can join even if you just have a kind of secondary interest in humanities research. So hopefully that won't be a limitation either. So timeline, applications are open now. Please apply. We have a couple more weeks of recruiting to do. So we're starting to get ready to read these applications and build our new cohort. The easiest way to apply, hopefully this is easy for you, take a screenshot here, scan this QR code. It's going to take you directly to the center's website, which is where the application lives. We'll take a look at the application in a minute. But applications are open now. If you want to get started on it, we encourage you to do that. If you want to contact one of us and talk about the application one-on-one, or if you have any questions, you can also do that. The deadline is Monday, February 29th at midnight. So that's an important date for you to kind of keep in mind. If you want to take a look at it, think about what your summer looks like, definitely make that decision before, the Friday, so you can work on your application. It's very short. And then get it in Monday by midnight. That's an important date, so keep that in mind, Monday, February 29th. We hope to have all applicants notified of admission to the program or status with the application by Monday, March 11th. We'll announce the recipients, and then we can begin planning for the next steps. By April 2024, we'll have a specific date for a kickoff meeting where we would expect all of our 2024 students to come in, have a kind of orientation session, meet with the center, meet with the faculty who's going to be leading the summer course.
And the project leaders from the community that you are going to collaborate with.
Right.
So the goal of like the orientation and the kickoff is for you to know each other. I don't know if we mentioned already, but there will be 20 students admitted in the program.
Yeah.
And the goal is in April to connect with each other, to point you to the project leader that you are going to work with in part during Summer A, and to meet with us at the staff of the center. And
I finally got my notes up, so maybe I could. So this is some contact information. Again, the easiest way is we tried to make this easy for you guys. You can scan the QR code that's going to take you to the application page, but to the Alexander Grass Scholars page. But it's on our website. You can find pretty much everything about the center there on the website. So if you've never taken a look at our online presence, browse around and see. There could be other things that are of interest to you as well. You can always stop by Walker 200. Walker Hall is sort of across the parking lot from Tigert Hall, if you know where that is, or we're not too far from Library West and Smathers. Come in. The office is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? I mean, normally we're here. If the door's open, come on in. You can also shoot an email to the center email address, which is just humanities-center@ufl.edu. Several of us, including me, will be looking for emails specific to the Grass Scholars program. So just drop a subject line that says Grass Scholars question, and I'm the one who will be responding to you. You can certainly reach out to Sarah or me as well if you have questions